Welcome to Writer's Launchpad. Before you launch your story into the world through Writer's Launchpad, there's one skill that can truly set you apart: pacing. It's what decides whether your audience leans in or tunes out. And yet, it's where most first-time writers lose their rhythm. In this video, we'll share simple, practical tips to help you master pacing and keep your listeners hooked from episode 1 to 5 and beyond. Tip 1. Start strong. Your first episode is golden. It's the moment your listener decides whether to stay for the journey or move on. So, grab attention with a mysterious sound, a bold action, or an emotional punch. Ask yourself, what makes someone say, "I need to know what happens next"? How can I introduce my main character in the most exciting way? Examples. A good opening for a fantasy genre could be, "The moon was full. Lucian crossed the forbidden river, clutching a stolen spellbook." Similarly, we could start a romance with, "She spilled coffee on my shoes, but her nervous smile said more heartbreak than apology." In just 1 or 2 lines, you've sparked curiosity. We call this a power start, the kind of opening that sets your story in motion. But don't stop there. Once you've hooked them, build on it. Give them a moment that promises something big is coming. Maybe it's a strange sound outside the door. Maybe it's an unfinished sentence. "There's something you should know about me." Every second of your opening should make listeners lean closer. Tip 2. Show, don't tell. Pacing slows down when you explain too much. Instead of long narration, let your characters act and speak. Actions reveal personality faster than descriptions ever will. Example. 3 knocks on the door. A breathless whisper. "Don't say my name tonight." Immediately, the audience feels tension. Who's knocking? What's the danger? Why can't they be named? That's showing. It moves the story forward while keeping the listener curious. Try this trick. If you can replace a paragraph of explanation with a single line of dialogue or a simple action, do it. Because every time you show instead of tell, you keep the rhythm alive. Tip 3. Introduce conflict early. Within the first 5 episodes, your audience should sense that something's at stake: a rival, a secret, a danger waiting in the dark. Conflict is the heartbeat of pacing. It's what keeps people emotionally invested. Think about it. Even a love story without tension becomes flat. Will they confess? Will they lose each other? Will the truth come out? You don't have to reveal everything up front. Definitely not within the first few episodes. Instead, tease it through whispers, odd coincidences, or reactions that feel slightly off. Maybe your hero hesitates when someone mentions a name. Maybe a letter arrives, unsigned, but instantly changes their mood. That's pacing. It's not about rushing. It's about revealing just enough to make people desperate for answers. Tip 4. Build your world, bit by bit. Great writers know pacing isn't only about speed. It's also about balance, when to pause and let your world breathe. Avoid dumping all your world building in one go. Instead, let your listeners discover your world the way your characters do. Example. The rain pounded on the roof as the village held its breath. Tonight was no ordinary storm. That one line tells us it's raining, people are anxious, and something supernatural might be happening. No info dump needed. When you weave your world through sound design like footsteps, creaking doors, whispers in the background, you make the story feel alive. And remember, in audio storytelling, your listeners can't see, so the rhythm of what they hear becomes your tool. Use ambient sounds, pauses, and tones to control pacing, just like music does in a song. Tip 5. Episode length and cliffhangers. Every episode is a chapter, not the whole book. Aim for 1,500 to 2,000 words per episode. That's enough to set up emotion, build tension, and end on a note that keeps them coming back. End each episode with a cliffhanger, a question, a secret, or a tough choice. Something like, she looked up and froze. That voice wasn't her brother's. The file was empty. Someone had beaten him to it. And then, the phone rang. Again. Cliffhangers don't just end an episode, they launch the next one. They're your pacing anchors. When done right, they make your audience say, "Just one more episode and hit next." Bonus tip, vary your rhythm. Pacing isn't about being fast all the time. In fact, great pacing is a mix of quiet moments and high-intensity bursts. Think of it like breathing. Tension builds, then releases. Action peaks, then slows. Give your audience moments to rest, reflect, and fall deeper into your characters' minds. Then hit them again with surprise or revelation. This rise and fall keeps stories dynamic and emotionally satisfying. Let's sum up all our learnings for today. Hook your listeners from the start. Show, don't tell. Introduce conflict early. Build your world naturally. End with cliffhangers. And most importantly, let your rhythm breathe. Mastering pacing isn't about perfection. It's about feeling the flow of your story and knowing when to speed up or slow down. Now go on, start writing. Your audience is already waiting. Participate in the Writer's Launchpad contest today